building beside a cemetery seems like it should never be done. Seems like that you shouldn't even think about building close to one. But what's crazy is, from our experience, before we purchased that property, we actually did some research. And we actually went in and looked at other cemeteries in the area here in Central PA.
Right.
Also in the area with the same guy who had bought the cemetery. He owned a couple other cemeteries. So we wanted to see what was it like around the cemeteries that he already owned and was already managing for years. And we couldn't come back with anything that wasn't out in the wide open. Every cemetery that we went to was developed around. And if you look on the screen, one of the other cemeteries that the same owner owned, do you see any clear space around here?
I don't see a lot of clear space around there at all. And in fact, I see the York Expo Center kind of right across the street there as well. And it's kind of tucked in there with a lot of other things around. Although I've been by that cemetery a lot. That's Greenmount. And very tastefully done. Everything's in order there. Doesn't look like anything's really happening badly. So
no, you see a Lowe's home improvement store that's built there. You see a quarry with blasting, active blasting behind it. You see the fairgrounds that are right down the street, almost adjacent. You see a big storage unit, people coming in and out, with their storage. You see some residential communities, another little school. So would you say that that's been developed around?
I would say it's definitely been developed around. And I guess one of the questions I have, John, is as you look at that kind of thing, are there any rules that say that anything shouldn't be built around a cemetery? In other words, there should be a segregation of things away from the cemetery, because as I look at that, it fits in very tastefully there, and yet at the same time, you've got stuff going on around it because it's part of the city.
Yeah, and I think that to answer your question, there's not a rule. There's zero rules that are against building around a cemetery. And from our research, it's been, most cemeteries, if not all of them, are built around. And even some prestigious cemeteries down in the DC, Virginia area have developments around them. And it's typical when you have space, especially in an urban infill space, that every little square inch of space gets utilized. When you're in proximity to major roadways, Pennsylvania Avenue, Route 30, Route 83, any little piece of property that can be developed typically gets developed. And one of the rumors of this project that we were building is that we were taking up gravestones, and one of the rumors that got spread were we were going to create a highway through the cemetery, dig up the graves, and move bodies. And now that is illegal.
Telling a lie. I mean, and I think I asked you before, I said, you don't have a division that digs up cemeteries, and I don't think you'd have a division that makes roads through cemeteries as well. So that sounds like kind of a silly thing, and someone really trying to just make their point, and it's ridiculous. I mean, it really is.
Yeah, there's another cemetery that Dylan's picking up on the screen here too, is where do you think that is? You might have passed that at the same time.
Yeah, that's right here in York as well. And I forget what the name of that is. Mount Rose Cemetery, I think, is what we're looking at right there. But man, you talk about being built around. Got a highway to the backside of it. You've got all kinds of housing across the street from it. It goes right into a really big, busy district. So, but again, very spacious cemetery, very tastefully done. I've been to, unfortunately, some funerals there, and and I remember being at the funeral, and I don't remember ever being bothered too much by noise or anything like that, because you're in that moment. So yeah, I mean, I don't know what you say about that. But it is right there, and when you go inside there, you're in a cemetery, and when you go outside there, you're in the city.